For the next portion of our herbalism basics, we're going to be talking about volatile oils. These can also be interchanged with essential oils. It's basically the essential oil of the plant without it being bad for you to eat or drink. Again, not a doctor. Don't discount your doctor. They're important. And don't eat essential oils that you buy. Don't do it. It's bad for you. On that note, welcome to this introductory course on herbalism. My goal is to explain the different compounds in our herbs without magically putting everybody, including myself, to sleep. So if that is what you are interested in, and keep on watching, we are going to be getting into that right now. And today, again, is volatile oils. So our goals for today is that we are understanding what volatile oils are and where they live in the plant. Learn how they interact with the body and the mind, because that's the smell is important. And then identifying common herbs that contain them. Side note, I'll mention this again later, the volatile oils in your plants are why you want to gather your herbs first thing in the morning before the dew dries. That's when they're at their most extreme in the plant. So have you ever brushed against, say, rosemary and you're instantly alert? Like I've said in previous videos, rosemary has a lot of different chemical compounds in it. So it has a flavonoid in it. It has phenols. And then you also have your volatile oils. And it's how all of these things work together in the whole herb that is important for our bodies. With rosemary, that scent that you're smelling, that volatile oil, is what perks up your brain. Maybe my dog got into some because he is super talkative right now. He is a husky. One moment, please. Okay, now that dinner is taken care of. The rosemary affects your memory, which is important. Just having a sprig of it's fabulous. And then your peppermint tea, that peppermint, that smell, that's strong. That is the volatile oils present in that peppermint that gives it that strong, pungent, and that will light up your sinuses. So if you're feeling a little stuffed up, that's a great one to keep around. So these are not just smelly goods. They are very active, complex compounds that help the plants defend themselves and us. They help clear our airways, calm our nerves, clear our throats. Sorry about that. Oh, there. I don't sound like a female Morgan Freeman anymore. Okay. They help soothe frazzled energy. Yeah, don't have an issue with that at all. The aromatherapy is one thing, and I may get into that in a different video because that works differently than aromatic medicine straight from our plant with no bottle needed. Okay, so I'm weird. And you know how some people like the smell of fresh cut grass? I do like that smell, but that's also your grass screaming at you for killing it, by the way. I'll give that scent a whole different vibe. But I have planted peppermint around my pond near my chickens because the gnats and the mosquitoes just get out of hand. So one, don't plant peppermint in the ground unless you want it there forever. But one of my favorite things is when I hit it with the weed whacker or the lawnmower, the scent that pops up. It is amazing. And you can actually see the bugs go, and scatter. It's fabulous. And I plan on planting more because my pond is just a mosquito and gnat haven. And I can't stand either one of those bugs. So we will continue to do that at our house. I am digressing. Let's get back on topic. We are not turning into certified aromatherapists here. We're not turning into a certified herbalism experts here. We are focusing in on home apothecaries, home kitchens that can help heal our bodies. We want to be able to spot the powerful herbs in our gardens, and normally you can spot them by touching them and smelling them. It is as simple as that. The stronger the smell, the more volatile oils that are in your plant. Next, we are going on to some of the problems we run into. One, mistaking volatile oils for the commercial essential oils. I don't know why I always forget what they're called. Where you can eat volatile oils, you cannot eat commercial essential oils. You will get sick, possible unaliving. It's not good. Don't eat those. And then there is a misuse of volatile oils due to the dilution of the oil after you cut the plant. They evaporate very quickly. These are not things that you want to just have set around and wait for a couple of days or a couple of weeks to process. You want to cut them, get them processed, get them used. One of the things I have found is that my freeze dryer does fairly well at keeping the volatile oils more intact. I know that seems weird, but it's very different from dehydration. There's also improper storing and things like that. The volatile oils and the essential oils are related, but they are not interchangeable. The volatile oils in our plants evaporate super easily. I'm saying a lot. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired today. Again, this is also why we grab them at the butt crack of dawn. I remember I was at a farmer's market and the lady was like, and that magical reason you have to harvest your herbs before you even wake up. That reason is volatile oils. It's when they're the strongest, when they are the most potent for medicine. Essential oils, on the other hand, are very concentrated extracts, and they often are like 50 to 100% times stronger than your natural volatile oils. Hence not wanting to eat them, plus the chemicals they can put in them to preserve them. Not great for you. So think of things like ginger tea versus ginger shots. Straight to the dome. Ginger tea, nice, subtle, simple. Ginger shot, just, and the spice. Whew. That was a thing. One is a gentle nudge. The other is smacking your head into a wall. Okay, anyway, today's quest is to identify and explore. So we are going to look at how volatile oils act as either a stimulant or a nervine. And we're going to learn how to use them in everyday forms like teas and steams and figure out how to grow or store them for maximum freshness. Sometimes it's all about rubbing the plant, and sometimes you have to have more of a whole experience, add some things together to get the exact effect you want. We're working with hands-on herbalism. So if you have any of these at home, go grab them, play with them while we're talking. Sniff some rosemary while we're talking. It's great. We are not going to be opening bottles because I don't feel like getting all my stuff out. My apothecary is pretty large and I'm not carrying them all over here. Anyway, we are going to stay pretty close to what we grow in the garden, even though it's like very cold outside. I'm not going out there either. They are the strongest and the freshest plant material, and they live mostly in the leaves, flowers, and seeds. Sometimes the root, and that's things like, say, ginger, turmeric, where I can think of the most would be. If you can think of anything else, pop it down in the comments, and we can keep learning from each other. Our herbs we're going to focus on here are peppermint, rosemary, lavender, thyme, chamomile, fennel, ginger, and lemon balm. For these we would use them internally and externally. So those are like teas, steams, infused oils, not essential oils, infused oils. We want to focus in on fresh or gently dried whole herbs in this process. So we're going to identify herbs rich in volatile oils, which we just did. And we're going to find out if they're either stimulating or relaxing. So we want to use them safely is also another thing we're going to go through to make sure that we are not overdoing it for ourselves. Also, pro tip for any one of these videos, label your jars. We all think we're going to remember, and no matter how much rosemary you sniff, you're going to forget what's in a jar, and you're going to go to sniff it to figure out what it is, and you're going to get hit in the dome by a very strong scent. And sometimes they can smell fairly similar, and you're not going to know which is which. Always label your jars. Always. Right, so our types of volatile oils are stimulant and expectorant herbs. These are rosemary, thyme, peppermint, and ginger. These help wake up your body, help get you moving, and they're the woohoo go team. I'm not very woohoo go team right now. I am very much, nice, calm. This is me calm. That's terrifying. So things like rosemary. I talk about rosemary a lot. Is circulatory booster, it's mental clarity, and it's respiratory support. Our thyme is antimicrobial. There's lung support, and it's warming to the body. Our peppermint is the opposite. It's cooling. It's energizing. It clears the head. Then we have ginger, which is more warming and it's help with our digestive system. So not too much. Too much can be bad. And then it's anti-nausea and it's also stimulating. Then we want to move over to our nervine and calming herbs, which are lavender, chamomile, lemon balm, and catnip. So where we can get confused between the two is, say, peppermint, lemon balm, and catnip. They are all part of the mint family. So, but they do very different things. With the nervine calming ones, these are your go slow. You want to sit back, you want to relax, but you don't want to do too much. These do help ease fight or flight. But if you do this too much, if you drink too much chamomile tea or too much lemon balm tea, too much catnip tea, have too many of the herbs put together, it will also relax your digestive system. Be prepared in 24 hours. If you have more than 2 cups the night before, you're going to be going to the bathroom. Great for constipation. Bad if you're having just a normal regular day. Let's not digress, but that is a good tidbit of information. Just because it's yummy and it's relaxing does not mean you need an entire pot. So for lavender, this is calming, aromatic. It is good for tension and sleep. The chamomile is a nervine and digestive relaxant. Again, do not drink too much chamomile tea. I know everyone's like, oh, my chamomile tea. You will be going to the bathroom a lot if you overdo it. Lemon balm is more for a mood booster and gentle stress relief. It's not really going to like help knock you out, say like chamomile or lavender will do. It's much more smooth than that. And catnip, how it makes our cats psychotic, it actually calms humans. That is a good thing. It does not make us psychopaths like it makes our cats. And yes, I am looking at my cat Luna, who is in my lap right now. There are 2 teams here, and they are playing in the same league, but one amps you up, one brings you down, not in a sad way, but in a very calm, soothing way. And learning to use which one does what is the magic of having your own apothecary. Especially if you just had a rough day, you just want to calm down because your nerves are frazzled and everything has gone wrong and the clothes touching your body makes you want to freaking punch a wall. I have those days. These are not just, they don't just make it feel magical in your world. It actually is sustainable. Like these are things you can grow, you can save, you can grab easily at a store within a decent budget. And I say decent budget, like you don't have to have a whole bunch of money to have just these few things on hand when you need them. So volatile oils are fast, fragrant, but fleeting. Keeping all of that in mind, volatile oils can help you just shift your entire being from being overly stimulated into a more calming effect. Keep that in mind. I say keep that in mind a whole lot as well. Things you figure out when you record yourself. The best part of all of this is that a couple of plants, an old pot, your stove, and boiling water is all you really need for any of these to work. And we are about to go through some of these ways here in a second. And one of my new favorites is a simmer pot. I don't know why I'd never thought of that before. I just thought they were some weird fancy thing that rich people did. Nope, they're super simple. I will be looking at recipes for this, and I just don't want to get it wrong. And my memory likes to go back and forth. Using volatile oils does not have to mean starting your home apothecary in a big cabinet like mine. I looked over it. Or spending your entire paycheck on pre-made oils and all of that jazz. You can have fancy bottles if you want to. You don't need them. So we are going to bring a few of these to life. And they are the herbal steam, which is great. So for this, these are good for congestion, stress, and skincare. So you would want to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of your herb. It can be fresh or dried. If dried, I'd probably add about another tablespoon just because it shrinks up and you want as many volatile oils in it as you would fresh. So you add that to a bowl. You pour in hot water, tent the towel over your head. So your bowl is here, your head's here, towel. And once you add that steaming water, not too hot, you don't want to burn yourself. You let that steam go up into your face and you breathe it in. One, depending on what you're using, can clean out your pores. You want to take your makeup off if you're wearing makeup before you do this, or is it going to just drip down your face, get in your eyes, taste bad? It doesn't go well. Let that steam hit your face, breathe it in through your nose, let that relax you. Also, clean up your pores. For a simple tea infusion, we're going to go with fresh herbs here. You want to start with about 1 tablespoon of fresh herbs. And you can mix and match different herbs to get the exact thing you're wanting to happen. And I would be using things like chamomile, lemon balm, or lavender for this. And then you want to boil your water or nuke it in the microwave, however you want to make it hot. Then you take those herbs and you steep them in that cup or whatever for 5 to 10 minutes. You want to keep it covered because you want to keep all the heat in to pull out all of those volatile oils and phenols and active constituents within that herb. Again, remember, this is the whole herb we are working with, and we want every little bit and piece of it. Then you just sip on it slowly. Like, it's not difficult to do this at all. Then we have infused herbal oils. This is a little bit harder, a little step up. So this is great for, say, like sore muscles, nervous tension, and for chest rubs. So you would add it into like coconut oil or something like that. So you want to steep your herbs like we did with tea. Tea is steeping. That's all you're doing, is you're steeping herbs with tea. So when any of these recipes say, steep this herb to do this thing, that's what it's saying, make a tea. And then to use it topically, you want to put it in like a massage oil. Any oil in your house will probably work. Some will be stickier than others. I believe soy has a high absorption rate. Avocado has a pretty high absorption rate, if I remember correctly. I tend to use fractionated coconut oil if I'm just wanting it to stay oil form. And then if I'm wanting it like a harder type of base, then I would use coconut oil, maybe a little bit of beeswax, and that's it. So I have my steeped herb, my type of oil I want to use, and maybe a hardener like beeswax, depending on what I'm using it for. The scents do eventually fade, so you do want to make sure you are labeling everything. Just making sure I covered everything before we hop on out of here, y'all. So if you have a go-to, let's call it a ritual, because we're just going to do a whole magical fantasy thing here, that you do at home, like to calm yourself at night or to hype yourself up in the morning, that has to do with herbs or infusions, teas, all the fun things, pop that down in the comments for us so we can keep growing and learning as a community. Thank you for joining me. If you like these types of videos, please hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons. That would be absolutely awesome. Again, my name is Brennan. I'm with Moonlight and Muck Boots, and I hope you have a blessed and magical day, y'all.